back in the beginning of Mirelle, 2 years before the war, ready-to-wear was secondary to making clothes. Dressmaker Betty Sykes describing Mirelle's customers as having clothes designed and made by the workroom, one of the reasons why in-house mannequins were employed from opening in autumn 1938, and also why Christine Edwards was after the war. She was a designer trained at Hull College of Art. Here you see her changing the window at 60 King Edward Street in July 1950, while dark-haired, glamorous workroom girl Rita looks on, wearing a light summery dress with bolero to match, very different from the striped suit in the window. At this point, and from opening, mannequins like little Valerie Beardshall, who was employed in 1950 at the same time, displayed clothes in person and on demand, including those made for customers. In 1940, a decade earlier, at the beginning of the war, adverts show there were models direct from Paris on sale, which doesn't mean a mannequin. Models were one-off examples of clothes sold directly from Paris, the centre of fashion, as well as Britain, and particularly dress firms based in London. The word meant an example, a bit like a prototype, and businesses like Mirelle saw them, then ordered ones to be made up using a customer's measurements. The fashion industry was complicated as a result, and in 1940 they had a gown buyer to manage all aspects of purchasing clothes for sale. Her name was Rita Tassell, who isn't the same Rita as in the window. Seen here in the 60s, walking to a wedding, dressed up to the nines, Rita's job as the gown buyer was very specific, someone who zoomed down to London on the train from Paragon Station, attending wholesale fashion houses on behalf of the business, selecting items that were bought in order to be sold, including already made clothes called ready to wear, and attending fashion weeks, if invited, once they started in the 50s too. Being a gown buyer involved an in-depth knowledge of fashion and trends, sound business sense, and an ability to match item to customer, something that lasted throughout the lifetime of Mirelle. Despite the business immediately taking off after it was established in 1938, World War II brought an end to Rita's job when she left the business for good. From then on, it was carried out by Mira, and from the mid-50s, herself and Molly Kidd, who travelled the length and breadth of Britain to select outfits, accessories and furs, as well as buying from stockists in Hull too. By then, Jean Muir, the British fashion designer who worked for brands like Jaeger, had coined a phrase to describe clothes that she termed good quality, well-made clothes for middle-class women to wear, and her term that stuck was wholesale couture. In the 70s, Molly and Mira still did the buying, sometimes taking along a younger member of staff, and that included Judith, the salon's first sales, and as a duo or trio they'd attend some of the most well-known brands of couture, ready-to-wear and wholesale couture. There they'd be shown collections for the new season, choosing for clients that once delivered would be given to the showroom to model and sell. Buying was the heartbeat of the business. Without exceptional connections to designers, fashion houses and creators, and a fashion industry that was thriving, Mirelle would have failed. Over 40 years, buying didn't stay the same, differing in the staff who did it, the focus of what was selling and available stock, changing in line with the business and fashion, which you'll see in the Fashions Talk coming up if you subscribe. What are the biggest changes you've seen to fashion in your lifetime? Let us know in the comments below.